These potatoes don't have enough gravy. No, thank you. I dislike kettle corn. All I want to do is save you money. May I bum a cigarette? I will destroy you.
Ah!
I saw Wallace Shawn die. Wallace Shawn is dead.
For roping. I like that. You're a jabroni. Go ahead.
Well, it's official. We're on Facebook. You know, I wasn't really sure about this at the start, but a friend told me to think about it as a conversation. I like that. What I'm finding out more and more is this wiping down the walls between me and you. I really like that. It lets us into each other's worlds. In my case, this hotel room. So if we're supposed to think of it as a conversation, we'll let the conversation begin.
Cheers to that, AJ.
Mr. Brooks.
Thanks, Garth.
Boom.
Oh.
All right.
So
Here
Party.
we are. It's Wednesday night. We're a little early, but it's okay. Because some people sleep.
Some people on the East Coast would like to sleep, and by some people, I mean me. But hi, everyone. Welcome back to What the Show. It is us, the Deacons, Bethany, Mike, joined as always, of course, by AJ and Sensei Juice. And
we should probably change that.
I can keep it. I know, like that was from. I know what that was from, but I like that it's still on. Anyways, we do have a special guest tonight. We also, once we introduce our guests, Juice, you'll have to pimp out our charity.
It's the last night for it.
It's the last night? Yes,
or
it's the
March.
last night of
Yes.
March. Our last stream of March. It'll be our last night to donate to this cause. And then, of course, in April, we'll be back with a new cause. Because as we always say, we don't believe in improving the quality of this show or profiting off it. We're here to help people. We like our terrible quality. So that's what y'all are going to keep getting. Yes.
You're going to get the bees.
And just some bees. We would like some money for the bees. We're here to help them out. But anyways,
Yes.
Anyone who might be watching live and or on the replay who is a Hate Spinnerbait fan, hi, this is what I look like when I talk. Usually you just hear my voice. And tonight we're doing a little crossover between my two shows. We have my What the Show gang, which is always here with us on Wednesday night. And let us go ahead and bring in my co-host of Hate Spinnerbait, the one, the only, Mikelanne Wood, soon to be Carter. Mr. Carter, if you please.
Hello, just like Beyonce, yes.
Yes, exactly. Just like Queen Bey. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is Mike. Also, if anyone is a Hate Spinnerbait fan who happens to be watching What the Show here, Justin the Juice is the person who came up with our Hate Spinnerbait theme song. He also does the lovely theme song, of course, for What the Show. So if you're ever like, wow, what a great theme song, this Jack Black lookalike is the man who made it. So everyone give him some love.
Thank you. Maybe we can outro with it. I got it somewhere.
Ooh.
We should have.
by the way, thank you, Bethany, for giving the best intro we've ever given a guest on the program. Usually we introduce ourselves and just let you hang out until you realize that that's your job too. This is the nicest we've ever been to a guest.
Oh no.
True.
I'm sure Mike's just warming up, honestly.
That's true. The night is so. Juice, do you want to hit us with our last night of our last March streams charity?
Yes.
While Mike
of
attempts
course.
to pin the link.
It's already
So we have a special, something special that'll be happening when you donate tonight for the last night that I won't reveal yet. But yes, so in honor of the late great Josh Estes, in honor of baseball season being back, I think opening day is tomorrow.
Wow.
we are doing all of our donations to Turn 2 for Youth, which is an organization that collects baseball equipment and gets donations for baseball equipment and then brings that into underprivileged communities, especially like in areas like the Dominican Republic and Cuba and just all the places where up and coming little kids want to learn how to play baseball. They need gloves, they need bats, they need balls. So it's a great way to build the next generation and honor Josh Estes with that. So give for the last night, because if you do, you will get a special surprise.
I'll start the drum roll for you.
Really?
Yep.
Yes. They've beaten every team they've played this year.
Wow.
I think they could beat any team if they play like they play
Greg, if I
tonight.
donate tonight? Because if so, I'm donating. I'm putting it out there, everyone. I don't know where he's
It's literally, we just saw live footage of Mike with the Jets next season and Aaron Rodgers.
So for the
That's so
uninformed, before we enter our topic tonight, we're introducing Mikelanne to some of the what the show is. Gentlemen, who wants to take the greatness that is Greg and explain?
This is AJ's.
AJ,
So-
yeah, this is AJ's baby. AJ, please explain what it is that you've been
About
watching.
6 months ago, I found this YouTube live stream that it just plays these videos on loop to the Elder Scrolls music.
It's always
I'm not
on.
an Elder Scrolls guy, but this guy, Greg Thompson, did a collection of skits for people that were learning English as a second language to show different verb tenses and things like that. And he did a bunch of funny little skits. They're completely unhinged. It's almost like it's like a David Lynch movie watching it. It's out
Very
of this
smart.
world, just mental. So I
also
started watching this live stream to fall asleep. And then we bring in Greg Thompson from the live stream on occasion to do a little man on the street bits, basically.
Yeah.
He's our
And
man on the street
also-
tonight.
Since it runs 24/7, like this YouTube channel is just live 24/7, we kind of use it as our Discord chat. So sometimes we just go in there to chat.
Yeah, we'll have full-on conversations in their live chat.
You
Yeah,
have to
and they're like-
subscribe for 5 minutes to be able
Yes.
to chat.
You do have to subscribe for 5 minutes. Totally worth it.
Ah.
And then you can just chat in the live chat. And it's just really entertaining to us for some reason.
That's amazing. The internet is a wonderful place.
That is wonderful.
It's-
And I had no idea what the Elder Scrolls was before I learned
Mhm.
about Greg. And now I know the Elder Scrolls music by heart. Like if I was out on the streets and I heard it, I'd be like, Elder Scrolls? I'd be like, you played it? Like, no, but there's this guy. It's cool. Oh.
So if you guys end up getting a Switch, I will buy you Skyrim.
And then I can play the game that goes with the music. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
All right, deal. I'm gonna be a gamer, guys.
So just before we move on from this, I just tried to look for it. I somewhere between here and my parents' house have a Green Bay Aaron Rodgers jersey from when I was like a football fan for like 2 years, like in high school. So if I can find it, I will absolutely send or give it to you, Mike, and you can like cross out the Packers and write Jets with like duct tape.
They're both green, right? It's fine.
Wear it to a game or something.
I don't think you're not
all
going to
great.
Duct tape over all the yellow.
Yeah.
Bethany might have to wear that.
You're
true.
probably a medium, Mike, right? Are you medium?
If it's a Nike, the Nike ones I'd wear a medium. If it's an older Reebok one, it would be a large.
It's very tall.
I think it would fit you. Yeah, you're tall, but
The Nike
Just
ones
tie
are
it up
enormous.
and just
Do it like very like 1980s, like where it's like
Absolutely.
a little jersey. That's what you should do.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Gucci-verse.
anyway. Yeah, that might have been our first. All right. Anyways,
I think that was our first bit of nudity ever. But how long was over 2 years we've been doing
We're going
the show?
on 3
I don't
years
think
on this.
anyone has ever. Yeah, going on 3 years. 3 years in October it'll be. That's wild.
Wow. You're a
And,
trailblazer.
yeah.
Yeah, and this has happened. Mark it on the calendar, everyone. Tonight's the night. It's exactly a month until I see Taylor Swift, y'all. Not to brag about it, but I did talk to my boss about it a lot today. He seemed very invested. At least he played along. Well,
I am waiting for Hate Spinnerbait to tell my Eras Tour story, and I'm very excited.
I'm so excited.
A legend.
So that does bring us to the reason we're here today. We're talking. Well, I mean, we're talking about everything, but we're talking about film and movie adaptation or book adaptations.
Yes.
So
Yes. I want to start.
Oh God. Okay. Here
Okay.
we go.
So
She's prepared as always.
one of the two greatest movies ever made is completely based on a book, and that book is the Necronomicon. And of course, I'm talking about Evil Dead 2. So
A real book. It has to be based on a real book.
This is a real book. I'm gonna go downstairs and get it.
Oh no!
All right. I want to know what the other answer was. Was it
if
serious?
Mike shows our first nudity and reads from the Necronomicon in the same stream, I think we're ending it. I think we gotta.
That's it.
I think that's
Let's
it.
go.
This is to be our shortest stream, but we're like, well, guys, that's it. We gotta wrap it up.
We
started so high. We're retired. Oh God, here we go.
Ah, yes.
Here it is. Again, though, it's still not. Yes, found in real. This is real human flesh, obviously.
Of course.
So can you tell? Look at his little nose.
It's authentic.
It's very authentic. And it's so weird that this really old book has a DVD.
It's made out of toenails.
Let's see. Yeah, is there any? I can't read this writing, so I don't know if we're gonna be able
Hold
to.
on.
read from it.
I'll dedicated to the.
Yeah, we can't. I cannot abide by this. I cannot sanction this buffoonery.
Wow. They got muted.
Oh no.
Okay, so are you cursed yet? We muted you.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say though, if you want me to give, I'll give two the other ones I was gonna say. First one is probably gonna be one that everybody was gonna say, which is Jurassic Park. Absolutely has to be considered on there for
Yes.
it might be.
I would say one of the rare cases where I think the movie is better than the book.
They have very different endings.
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna
But-
go out on a limb.
The other one is actually the best movie made based on a book, and that is Die Hard.
Wait, is Die Hard actually a book?
Yes,
That was
It's
going to
not
be one of
called-
mine.
It's not called Die Hard. The book.
Jeez. I didn't know this. I'm learning a new thing tonight. For
The
real.
name of the book is Nothing Lasts Forever.
Who is it by?
Novel by, hold on, Roderick
Nicholas Sparks.
John
Came
McClane.
out in 1979.
Yeah.
It is actually a sequel to the 1966 book, The Detective.
What was the detective about?
A detective.
Good answer.
Sherlock.
Good answer.
Well, wait. So, John McCain? No, not John
McClane.
McCain.
That's
No,
another.
no.
That's a very.
Oh, that's different.
Stick with it.
I mean,
It's a different kind of
you
criminal.
put the guy in the same setting. It's probably going to end up being
I watched that movie first of all. Second of
might
all.
be the same movie.
Wait, no. So John, what is his
John McClane.
Thank you. Is he in the detective, or is it a
They-
sequel that's like an anthology series where it's like a completely different thing?
I know that the books don't use the exact same character names. Like it's based.
But
off,
is it about like a guy? Like is it like his archetype of character though?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a.
different if I'm not mistaken, but
Interesting.
yeah. So that
Now the real question is the book a Christmas book? Since the debate is always is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
That's a good question.
You have to actually read the book, which requires me being able to read. So I don't think.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Well, you've read like the Lord of the Rings and stuff, okay? You could.
That's probably an easier book than going through Tolkien. Yeah. I was gonna bring up another action movie actually, Rambo. Have you guys read First Blood? Have you heard about this? Have you read this first?
I've heard
Blood?
like Christian Harloff talk about it.
It's wild how different it is. First of all, there wouldn't have been a Rambo 2 because Rambo dies at the end. Sorry, John dies at the end. It's going to be another thing that I bring up later.
I'm half prepared for that at this point.
So Rambo dying at the end is there is an alternate version that is filmed, and if you see Rambo 5, they show a flashback of it. So yes.
But he's actually the bad guy.
Yes.
Like if it like vilifies him. He's like,
wait, like Rambo's the bad guy?
Yeah, he's
kind of a chaotic neutral.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. The first movie is a totally different vibe than any of the sequels. I haven't watched anything past like
so the jail scene in Rambo. Imagine if he, instead of like what happens in the regular jail scene, he's bare ass naked and he murders everybody brutally.
Wait, that's what happens in the book?
That's what happens in the book.
Yeah, like, this guy sounds like a tool.
He actually has problems. He's a product of the Vietnam War, which is like the theme of the book is how basically depriving veterans of rights and treating them as second-class citizens leads to the destruction of society. It's a really good book. The movie's fine, but the movie's good. But yeah, it's an entirely different premise.
That is so interesting. I'm going to add that to my list. Books to read.
So once we're done with this, I have some update. I've been doing some research on the Die Hard books.
Yes. Here we go.
So this is fascinating. So yes. So the original book, The Detective,
about John McCain,
it's Leland. No, it's Leland something is the Joe Leland, I think, is the main guy. And there was a movie that was made that had Frank Sinatra as that character. Here's where things get crazy. So when the author had the idea to write the Die Hard book, Nothing Lasts Forever, years later, he writes the book, and it's actually based on that same detective, but being more of a retired guy. So he's retired and gets brought back in. So when they start to adapt it for a movie, they actually offered Frank Sinatra the role, and we're going to make it an actual sequel to The Detective. Wow. He declined. And then they offered it to Arnold and Sly, and they all declined. And then when they got it to Bruce Willis, that's when it was reworked as its own movie. So Die Hard could have been a Frank Sinatra sequel.
I wish it was a different movie that would have been.
It's like
that was on whatchamacallit. They didn't say that part though. I don't remember that. I remember them saying they reworked it a few times and like a bunch of people turned it down. What is it? Like the movies, the thing on Netflix.
Oh, the Netflix one, the movies that made us.
Yeah, Die Hard is a episode.
It's one of the first ones, if I'm not mistaken.
And I remember them discussing. They did not discuss if they did. I feel like I would remember the Frank Sinatra thing, but they discussed
Stallone and
like all the other they went to all these big action stars and no one thought Bruce Willis was an action star.
He was a
You know what we watched the other night? Let's see if anyone's seen it. I had never heard of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Until the other day. And it actually was pretty, and also like kind of progressive for when did it come out again? 2001?
Yeah.
Bandits. Do y'all know Bandits? I did not know this movie existed. Bruce Willis, Kate Blanchett, and Billy Bob Thornton. And it's basically these two guys break out of jail and they decide that they just start like robbing banks. Like with no plan, they start robbing banks and they actually end up being really good at it. And what they start being called the sleepover bandits, because what they do is they basically start finding like bank branch managers and they go to the bank manager's house the night before and they're just like, hey, tomorrow morning when you go into work, we're robbing your bank and you're going to do, because they were like,
you know what,
like it's hostages and all that makes bank robberies hard. But like if you go in the morning with the boss, like it's easy to do. So they basically sleep over with the manager at the manager's house the night before. So anyways, they end up meeting Kate Blanchett's character and it looks for a minute like it's going to kind of turn into a love triangle because like they both like her, and then is she going to complicate things because they're you know, on the run from the law and whatever. And then weirdly, it's like kind of about like polyamory because at the end, she kind of ends up with both of them. And I was like, this came out in 2001 and no one batted an eye and has like big stars in it. And like no one.
See,
said anything.
Bandits is
Like,
the
that's
one
right.
where
Anyways,
there's a scene where they hold up a guy in the gas station with a candy bar, isn't it?
No,
No.
they use a highlighter in the bank.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it is.
But it was
Okay.
very like Kate Blanchett is just like she's very like funny and like Billy Bob Thornton is like very
Quirky.
like quirky and like kind of funny in it, and like Bruce Willis is kind of being Bruce Willis, but like sort of, he's kind of playing a little off type. Anyways, I was like, this was around 2001 and starred like really big people, and I had never heard of it, and also it's just like kind of progressive considering it came out when it did.
It's a fun flick.
But yeah, if you're looking for where did we find it on
Tubi. It's on Tubi.
I was gonna say, look, yeah, Tubi.
Yeah, Mike was like, you might like this movie. And I was like, I've never heard of this. And then he started playing the trailer, and I'm like, this is Bruce Willis. That Billy Bob Thornton. This is like big stars in it. How have I never heard of this?
I don't think it was like a massive box office hit, but it wasn't like a bomb or anything either.
I literally saw a tweet about it today. Random as hell. I
Tubi.
think it was Ben Meckler who said, "Oh, just remember this movie that I made my dad see, take me to the theaters to see 3 times over 20 years ago, and never watched again."
Yeah, it's like funny and lighthearted. It's kind of like a heist movie. It's also like a buddy movie. Like it's just like you think that this girl's gonna like come between these two guys, and then like
And she does.
so dumb. But like they stay friends, and like she's just in a relationship with both of them, and they're all just like chill with it. And I was like, this is like not how I saw this movie going, and this is like okay, all right, yeah, I'm into this. So yeah, anyways, rock on, Bandits 2001 for being a secret progressive movie that I was not expecting.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But yeah,
Some
everyone's looking for
adaptations. No, I found out that I found the sticky pad in my drawer, and like the glue's almost gone, but now it's an accordion, so I got distracted. So that's
all started with Frank
Nice.
Sinatra.
okay.
Really led.
So, movies based on books, though.
Yeah, we could talk about Bandits some more, but we should probably get back to the point. Also, that's pretty much all I had to say about Bandits.
I have a little bit of announcement with that. Just to say, I know that I kind of put on this facade that I don't know how to read and all that stuff, but I would just like everyone to know that I have, in fact, read a book before. And I have book movie I'd like to talk about would be The Princess Bride.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Bring that up. I think.
R.I.P. Wallace Shawn.
R.I.P.
Is
Wallace.
this like the
Shawn.
Princess Diaries, or
Also based on a book.
Very good books. Very good books.
Yeah, and both movies are both very delightful. There was a great Princess Diaries reference on the newest episode of Ted Lasso, and it pleased me.
yes?
Ooh, I'm almost done with the first season.
I was gonna do a Julie Andrews joke, but you mentioned the thing.
Yeah, sorry, I did it. I beat you too. I mentioned the thing.
Did you listen?
The thing.
Did you listen to the You're Wrong about Anne Hathaway?
Yes, I did, and it was so good.
So good.
So good. And you know what's so funny too is the second I saw the episode title, I was like, yes, people really hated on her for a while for no reason.
No reason.
And then all of a sudden one day we're all like, hey, why are we hating on Anne Hathaway? And we stopped.
Yep.
And I don't understand. I'm glad that we stopped because she's a delight and a massive talent. But yeah, just like for a good 5 years there, everyone just hated on her so much for no reason. But yeah, that episode was great.
I just want to say that Love and Other Drugs is one of my favorite comedies of all time, so I never jumped on that train. But The Princess Bride. So tell me about it.
Yeah, so I have read the book. This was in high school. I think it was for a report, but I got to like pick a book. So I was like, oh, Princess Bride. But I didn't know. It took me till halfway to finally understand whether or not the book was based off of an old book or was just an original and William Goldman, the writer, was just making up the other book, because it's so crazy because he makes it seem like he's adapting a very old book and has parts where he's like, I'm skipping over this chapter because the author just made it all about the history and yada yada yada. It's really boring. So anyways, back to like the good stuff. And you don't know if it's really true or not without like a lot of Googling. And it took me like a 4-hour phone call to explain to my friend like how, like whether or not it was actually based on a book. It was awesome. The other friend.
It was awesome.
But it was so cool. It was funny, and like I know the book, so I knew the characters. Like I actually learned the characters' names for all those guys, and like Spicoli or whatever they're Fezzi or something. I don't remember them, but
so like he mentioned he can skip entire chapters because it's boring. Did this guy like have my same like non-affinity for Token? Like I really want to read this now.
It probably was a Token jab, now that I think about it.
Well deserved, honestly. It's like, oh, get to the point already. You've set the scene. We got it.
Oh, we spent 3 more pages talking about this meal.
No.
Third dinner.
No one needs 5 pages on third dinner, dude. Get to the point. Bread. That's a good one, Juice. Mikelanne, what do you have for us?
Yeah, Boomer.
Okay. This might be random, but the book and movie are equally as good, and both are fantastic. Silver Linings Playbook.
Oh my God,
that's a good one.
That is good. That's actually one of the first movies besides Star Wars that Mike and I agreed on. Because we
it's so good.
Like bonded over Star Wars, and we kind of talked about some other things, and then I realized like he likes Kevin Smith, I like not Kevin Smith movies, and whatever. And then one day I went over to his house and he was watching Silver Linings Playbook, and I was like, oh, have you seen this movie? And he's like, yeah, it's really good, I like it. And I was like, yeah, same. And I was like, okay, we found another.
This was your breakfast at Tiffany's moment?
It was our breakfast at Tiffany's moment, and I said, how about breakfast at Tiffany's? We said,
that's awesome.
They both kind of liked it.
We both kind of liked it. Silver Linings Playbook is great.
Okay, so explain it to somebody who's never seen or read, though.
You need to watch. You will
never
love.
Seen Silver Linings. That
you will
shocks
cry.
me, AJ.
Yeah, you'll cry.
You're gonna cry like 5. AJ cries very easy. And he's gonna cry like 5 times in this movie. I'm calling
Okay,
it.
here's a fun game for you.
Marcel,
just think of a movie, any movie.
We did a cry count.
Think of any movie. Just any movie. Okay, got it? What is it?
Yes. Are we all playing? Are we all supposed to think of a
this is
movie?
for Mikelanne.
Oh no, I'm not ready. Okay.
Name a movie.
I'm so sorry. We just watched a really terrible movie. It was called We Broke Up.
Oh, damn.
That sounds like
name another movie.
Oh my God, another movie? Oh Lord.
Just a movie that you think that nobody could possibly cry watching.
Nobody could cry watching? Oh, I'm the wrong person to ask. My God.
Okay. So an easy one would have been like Space Jam 2.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Multiple
I
times.
mean,
Here we go.
And AJ he would have cried in it, I'm certain.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Oh
Yeah.
man. I never saw
Mad Max Fury Road.
I feel like that
Happy
actually
Gilmore.
have some emotional moments.
Just if you can think of a movie.
Die Hard?
Oh,
I actually don't think I cried during Die Hard.
Okay.
I've cried. I've cried during Die Hard. During when Pal tells the story, I shot a kid. No.
I have
No,
to say something controversial.
Do it.
I've never seen Die Hard.
That's fair.
Yeah. Well, and I mean,
it's a great book.
Probably the most famous film adaptation of a book. I've never seen the movie.
Wow, you really feel a certain way about me after that.
He was really in love with Die Hard. It's fine.
the most
is like-
famous film adaptation of a book. I've never seen the entire movie like start to finish, but I've seen the entire movie, and that's
You mean-
I've never seen The Godfather the entire way,
Oh.
start to finish in one sitting.
I don't know. I don't think I've seen the second one. I love the first one. I don't think I've like really just sat down and watched the second one all the way through with like actually paying attention.
It's
I
much
have
more.
watched-
Second one is too much. It should have been 2 movies.
Have I watched all 3 Godfathers? I think so, but only once, and I feel no need to revisit them.
I've never
Sorry,
seen.
everyone in the world.
I do. Speaking of that, I do definitely remember Robert De Niro and I was called him Bobby Cooper, Bradley Cooper watching the Eagles in Silver Linings Playbook. I remember that.
That's a good Eagles reference.
Oh,
Just
That would
probably
be
Well,
so
what I
good.
implore anybody who's never seen The Godfather to do is just don't watch The Godfather. Watch The Offer, the movie about the making of The Godfather,
the TV
or
show.
the series about it. It's amazing.
I need to watch
that.
that. I
Martin
really
Cove
wanna
told
watch
us to watch
Where is
that.
it?
It's on
I
Paramount
don't know.
Plus
Yeah, right.
or pirate. I don't. We didn't say pirate it, but like you
There are
can't.
pirates in it.
There are
No.
pirates in the offer.
Monsters.
Yes,
The Dread Pirate Roberts.
that's what happened.
Ah.
But yeah, AJ, you really need to get on Silver Linings Playbook because I think it'd be right up your alley.
Oh, watch
Everyone,
it
let's
after
do a
this.
cry count now, and then AJ can get back to us and let us know how many times.
Silver
you cried.
Linings Playbook. I'm gonna say 8.
That's a good guess.
I'm not
Pizza
going to
4.
give, not to spoil anything, but the movie Stardust is named after a book. I just saw that came across the list I'm looking at, which
Oh,
is a
okay.
great movie.
Favorite film.
Anyways, we'll move on from that. Yeah, it is my new favorite movie.
I'm gonna guess my AJ cry count guess is gonna be 4. I feel like he's on anything that's like slightly emotional. The odds are at least 4 times he cries. So that's gonna be my guess.
There's a lot of moments in
A
Silver
lot.
Linings.
Yeah, I mean, Silver Linings will really get you.
Okay, but here's the thing: if I continuously cry, that's
It's only
one
one.
cry.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, you have to like stop and start again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not collecting tears in a bucket. That's just
So we think,
sadism.
I'm gonna tell you this is how easy AJ gets emotional, which I think I love about him. Like I think everyone needs to be in touch with their feelings. I'm an emotional person as well, so I get it. But we found this video of Jason Sudeikis and Will Forte singing what is that called?
Why don't we?
Shallows or whatever.
I shouldn't tell you.
Shallows.
From they were doing like a charity event, and so they were singing like from A Star Is Born. And
It's delightful.
supposed to be funny, and it's very like funny and sweet and like. And AJ legitimately got emotional from it. He's like, "Right, right now."
Wrecked.
Not play this to make you upset. It was supposed
Absolutely wrecked.
like he really was.
Oh my god. I have to tell you, I cry at concerts because I like to see people living their dreams.
I mean, that is.
Oh, I will openly admit Bethany has not seen it yet. AJ is going to see it. When the Ecstasy of Gold comes on before Metallica comes on stage, that's one of the few times I cry.
I did cry. So me and my friend Katie have been friends for years. She like has curly blonde hair, very Taylor Swift hair, and I'm a redhead, so I'm the Abigail. And when she played 15 at the last show, and like we had come from like the other side, like the first time we saw her in concert, like we were those like 15-year-olds. And then the next time we saw her in concert, we were like 25. Like we realized like how silly high school like drama was. And she started playing 15, and I just like burst into tears. Like there we are at the concert. And I'm like, yeah. So yeah, I mean, I have certainly cried at a concert before, and mad respect.
No, I can't start watching One Piece, so I won't. I'm sorry, John. It's never gonna happen for you. You can keep trying.
So to bring up a movie adaptation of a book based on young adult adaptations or whatever the genre is, at dinner tonight, the people were talking about the Hunger Games, because that new, I don't know where there's a new movie coming out or whatever.
November, I think.
Yeah,
Prequel.
prequel.
So
Oh.
what are your all's thoughts? So this was like when I was in high
very
school
well
for
free,
the Hunger
actually.
Games. So it was like that was just what everyone was talking about. I went to see the theater. I think I've told this story before. I did actually read the first Hunger Games book and the second, and I didn't finish the third. But during the second one, I remember I fell asleep on the couch reading the book, and I dreamed about being like essentially being Katniss, like getting told she's has to go back into the Hunger Games. Like I was dreaming that, like I was experiencing that, and then like I heard my parents talking like in the living room because I fell asleep on the couch, and they're like, and I'm like, oh man, they're talking about how I got to go back in the Hunger Games. Like I know I got to go back. No. And then I'm like, oh, I'm Justin. I'm on my couch. I don't have to go back into the Hunger Games. So anyways, yeah, what do you guys like the movies? Has anyone read the books?
I've actually read all three, which is a rare one for like more recent-ish type stuff, like, you know, past my high school and college days. But I liked the first book more than the movie. Second book and second movie, both favorite book, favorite movie.
I would agree with that.
Wasn't too keen on the third book or the third and fourth movie.
I like the third book. I don't think the movie adaptation. I like the movie adaptations, but I think the second they decided to split it, I don't know if that was the right call.
One or two could have been split.
Yeah, I think two had more plot and could have been split before I would have split three personally, but I'm not Hollywood exec. But everyone raised a glass because when I worked at the movies, is when the first Hunger Games came out. And I was the only one that at my theater who had read the books. I'd read all three books before like the hype had really gotten real. And so we got our first teaser poster in for it. And I knew it was about to become really big because it was big in like the book world, like the YA book world. It was like obviously a massive hit, but it wasn't big in like the movie circle world yet. And so I was like, I'm getting one of these posters before everyone else wants one. So my friend Hugh was the projection manager at the time. And so he had access to the poster room because obviously it was upstairs in projection. And I went to him and I was like, I want this poster. And he's like, I don't know what the F this is. Sure, whatever, take it. And then like literally 3 weeks later, it just blew up. And everyone was like, I want Hunger Games stuff. I want Hunger Games stuff. And I was like, fuck it. I got in on it before everybody knew.
You're a trend forecaster.
So much stuff.
Lionsgate and Paramount were the two that.
Oh my god, there were so many there because there was the teaser poster, and then like there was the big banners for the lobby, and then there was the character posters, and there was the action. And each time they did, because like certain studios wouldn't send a ton of prints of posters, Lionsgate would send tons of prints. So they're actually, I got a teaser, and then I think I got the actual poster as well because there were just so many freaking prints of them. Thanks, Lionsgate. We salute you for all the detail and checking out.
I didn't watch The Hunger Games until it was on Netflix because I was burned by YA adaptations I still think we need to do, like, the name Guylight is already taken, but I still think we need to do The Boys Watch Twilight as a theme.
Well, Mike is going to have to watch all 4 of them if he loses me in fantasy football this
year. There's Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2. And I've read all the books. I definitely read all the books. And those were the worst things ever. So I was burned on YA. And then I caught on Netflix. It's like, oh, this is really good. I do need to go back and read the books because apparently it's even more harrowing and scary.
First book is, I think the first book is better than the first movie. The second one is pretty faithful. Like, there's not very much in the second Hunger Games that really changed. They left some things out, obviously for time, but it's the closest of the 3 book to movie.
The books get way more into the atrocity of like like the movies, and I'm not blaming the movies because like it's a different medium, and also you're trying to appeal to the masses, and Hollywood's gonna Hollywood, right? So Hollywood really played up like the love triangle, which I'm not saying doesn't exist in the books, but in the books it's way more about like
Gail.
Like, you know, the finish each other's sandwiches. Mike and I are not those people.
No.
It's never right. The books are way more about like the terrible atrocities of the government and the Capitol and like you know, fighting for what's right, and just like the what makes Catching Fire so good, and also just so, oh god, so hard to read, is it deals so much with post-traumatic stress disorder. Like, it's so much about like her PTSD and like Peeta's PTSD, and like I can't even imagine surviving something like that and thinking like, okay, that was god awful, that was terrible, but at least I'm safe now and I kept my family safe. And then literally turning around and finding out you have to go do it again.
Yeah, that was my dream.
I'm quietly dying.
I'm
quietly dying right now.
How are the books more about Gale? Like, the point was the books are less about the boys and more about like.
Gale is way more in the books than he is in the movies.
Yeah, but that was so not my point. The point was Hollywood was Hollywood and made it a love triangle, and the books were about like Katniss and what like the atrocious
political
sentiments stuff. And you're the books had more Gale.
They did.
They lead into sensationalized love stories more than the actual plot of the book, which is hilarious. If you think about it, it's hilarious because the whole message of the love story being sensationalism and just being the media thing is a fucking thematic point.
Is a point.
Yeah.
Yes. Which is why I was like, Suzanne Collins
That's
like
hilarious.
probably is so annoyed that like we did, which I remember like having a conversation when I was at the movies with my friends about, and I was like, we're doing it. Like, we are the capital. Like, we're eating up this and we're doing it, like, but like that's what it would sell. And I'm not gonna lie, like when I was reading the books, like I was rooting. I was like, oh, I hope she ends up with Peeta. Like, I'm a human. Like, obviously I cared about the love story, but like there's just so much more to the love story, and I think the books do a better job of like portraying, which is why I also always get annoyed. Sorry, everyone, to go on like a rant here. Juice is like, man, I did not know I opened up this Pandora's box, but
I love this.
People shit on Mockingjay, because Mockingjay I think is so radical and so awesome because, again, and no shade, because Star Wars is like my favorite thing of all time, and so many other things like Harry Potter, whatever. But the problem is the good guys, it always ends with the status quo. And the Hunger Games was one of the first stories that was like, no, it's not just like, oh, the rebels win and that's the end. Like, what if like we need to actually make change? And like that's what Mockingjay is about. And that's, I've never in a big popular YA book to read something like that. Like, that was revolutionary, and everyone's always like, Mockingjay's not that good, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, did you read the same book I read?
Yeah. The book is like, the book really sets everything in for you with Mockingjay, whereas the movie is just kind of like, oh, Dale blew up her sister.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert. Also, the relationship with the sisters is not nearly as strong in the movies as it is in the books.
Yes.
You don't get that like emotional attachment that you do in the books.
There's a couple of characters. What was her name? Greasy Say? Was that the character's name? Katniss in the.
Oh, like the little market lady.
Yeah.
What is her name? Something like that. Yeah.
She's a much bigger part in the book, and they explain the significance of the Mockingjay actually way better in the book than they do in any of the movies.
Yeah. I mean, AJ, if you aren't just like pumped to go read these books after this, I don't know.
I'm thinking I'm gonna reread.
Yeah, like I'm feeling like I'm doing a reread. It's been a while.
But my final thought on the movies though is Donald Sutherland did too much work. I need him to come in.
You're so right. He should have just been real good.
20 minutes.
Have you seen
Jazz? Young love.
So you like an underdog?
Everyone likes an underdog.
Have you seen Moonfall, Mikelanne?
No.
Okay.
Boy, you're missing out.
Spoilers for Moonfall. Donald Sutherland is in the movie, but he's in one scene, and basically he is wheeled in, literally in a wheelchair, spouts off exposition for about a minute and a half, and then is wheeled out and presumably blows his brains out off screen. And he got like $1 million for it.
Yeah,
of course.
That man made more money than we will make in our lifetimes for 2 minutes of exposition.
He's a hero of the show. Also, we got $1 from Big Mustard saying "fuck Plum."
Damn straight, Big Mustard. We salute you.
Oh, you know what that means?
Time to check on our man on the street.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to see Big Mustard. Also, when we get back from our man on the street, Donald Sutherland, put a pin in that.
I think you're right.
All right, let's do this. Speaking of
The brothers in the pool. This is a good part.
us being shirtless.
Oh, it's
Rex
fun.
nipples.
I enjoyed that swim. Oh no, it's in the pool.
Oh no.
Who knew you would be the only shirtless man?
That's the worst. The worst
Can you
feeling.
help me wring it out?
No.
Here.
No.
If only he had one of those water resistant towels.
That's it. The last time I wrung out a towel, I wrung it out alone. And I didn't get this much water out of it.
What am I watching right now? I feel like I'm on another planet.
Okay, it's basically like AI written scripts, or if you had an alien from another planet explain a common everyday life situation and try to make it sound human. It's so good. It's
The first time AJ brought it on, he said, "Coming to us from purgatory." He was great.
Yep.
I'm like, obviously, because he's in actual seriousness of when he was trying to make it, when he was trying to help teach people English, like he's trying to like really speak slow and enunciate, but it just makes him sound so unnatural.
It's robotic.
So it's like, how many times have you eaten today? And we're like, nobody talks like that. So we love you, Greg. You're a legend of the show. Speaking of Donald Sutherland, that brings me to one of my all-time favorite books, one of my all-time favorite movie adaptations. Let's see if you can finish my sandwich this time.
Pride and Prejudice.
Yay, he did it.
Yes. But
the
which
2005
adaptation?
version, obviously,
I'll let you
great
finish in a second.
to be-
But we had to read
back.
this in high school for an extracurricular novels class for English.
Yes.
And it's an extracurricular course. So you didn't actually have to take a quiz on the book or anything. You had to journal about it. So I cannot Jane Austen. I love period pieces. I love period pieces written by women. I can't Jane Austen. I cannot do it. So I journaled about trying to read the book and falling asleep. Then I was like, and then I wrote about how like I rented the movie and I tried to watch the movie. And I then went on a detailed review of the back jacket of the DVD case.
I would make fun of my mom when she would watch like or read one of the books or whatever and just call it Pride and the Prejuice. That could have been like a precursor to that might be how like subconsciously I came up with the juice. Anyways, I will be right back.
Over. I'm sorry. My Kanye rant is over.
Pride and Prejudice is everything. I mean, there are many good adaptations. If you're looking for a great modern version, I highly suggest Lizzie Bennet Diaries right here on the YouTube. Really great vlog style retelling of Pride and Prejudice, and I love it very much. But the 2005 version has a special place in my heart. I mean, I love the Colin Firth version from back in the day. It's just, oh my God. Everything about the 2005 version is everything. And my dog's middle name is Darcy because of my love for Pride and Prejudice. So yeah, that's a 10 out of 10 for me. And again, I just really love at the end when Donald Sutherland is like, "I'm quite at my leisure," and my family just quotes it all the time. So it really pleases me. P&P forever. Jane Austen forever. And speaking of
I at one
Hathaway,
point thought of like a parody called The Talented Mr. Darcy. It's a Ripley like crossover. Anyways, I shouldn't be speaking on this.
Also,
I'm sorry.
while I'm gonna go ahead, we discussed earlier Princess Diaries. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw that out. I love that movie a lot. Like a lot. It's the first thing I ever owned on DVD. Actually, fun fact was Princess Diaries. And I love book series, Meg Cabot. Also, All American Girl. If you're looking for some more Meg Cabot and you haven't read that one, that's probably my favorite Meg Cabot novel of all time. And that should be adapted into a movie. Someone let me direct it, please. That would do great. But Princess Diaries is phenomenal. Very different than the book, obviously, but a very good movie. Both good book and good movie in its own right. And Hello, it can't be me. Miss Kids Riding on Bikes without mentioning Stand By Me, one of the greatest, technically short story, but still technically a movie based on a book. And It as well. While we're talking about Stephen King, both a great book and well, the book's kind of weird actually, but the movies that concurring
Parts of the book.
the most recent version.
AJ, she said the word short story, and it made me think of one that it just came to mind. My God, AJ and I have watched this. I don't think anybody else has.
Oh Jesus!
Based on a Ray Bradbury short story, A Sound of Thunder.
Oh my God.
No, we have not.
Interesting.
No, there's a movie that exists.
It has baboonosaurs.
What?
They're central antagonists.
Tell me more.
So it's the butterfly effect. To simplify it, the short story is only like 2 or 3 pages long. It's not. It's like an essay essentially, but they turned this into a movie.
Hi, Moose.
Hi, Moose. But the gist of the story is they go back in time and they're on a pathway, but they can't change anything. So the goal is that they're going to go and they're going to kill a dinosaur that is about to die anyway, and immediately go back to the future. And obviously something goes wrong, so there's ripple effects through time that keep changing the timeline of how things go, and it keeps screwing up the Earth and everything. And baboonosaurs.
Good choice, Randy.
It's almost like a dumber version of the third Cloverfield movie. It's
okay.
You know, I've only ever read Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, but that's a great book.
So yes, Thunder, you're not going to find it anywhere unless you buy the DVD because nobody is going to stream it.
Also, speaking of classics, I got to give some love to Kill a Mockingbird. Both a great book and a very good movie.
So it's Nicolas Cage's favorite movie.
Has anyone here seen? This is on that topic, not on the book topic. This definitely does not have a book. Has anyone seen Kung Fury before?
Yes.
Kung Fury.
Yeah.
This is like what I think was the gateway that sparked the 80s revival in the 2010s. In my opinion, it's been a very long time since I've seen it, but it's a short. It's like 30 minutes. We absolutely need to do a watch along. But it's basically, I think like a guy essentially gets like Kung Fu powers and like Hitler comes back.
Go on.
And he's like the whole like 30-minute movie is just him with like Kung Fu chasing Hitler through time, beating like people up and beating up like dinosaurs with like rocket launchers and stuff.
Oh,
so
same people
we absolutely need to watch it.
Hitler with Kung Fu or Hitler knows Kung Fu?
They both know Kung Fu. Our hero knows Kung Fu and Hitler does.
Oh, and her.
So he's like fighting. So the whole thing is he's fighting Hitler. Like, but it's all 80s. There's a guy like Axeman or something on the computer that plays like the keyboard and has like my like long mullet hair. I basically made my whole life to be like this guy, but
Jeez, the same people did Danger Force 5. Have you seen Danger Force 5?
No.
Okay.
Danger Force 5.
It's always the same thing. The goal is to kill Hitler. And it's like it's action series set in the 60s and everything was way too 60s. Like at one point, the female lead is spouting is like saying, "Well, isn't there an easier way to do this?" When she gets the mission briefing, and the leader, who's a guy with a fucking eagle mask, like full on eagle mask, never takes it off, says, "Shut up, Janet," and shoots a gun in her face, but he shoots a cigarette into her mouth.
It's
like
Kung Fury absolutely needs to be watched along, but I need to watch that.
Absurd cinema.
Kung Fury.
I'm game. We know that Eli Roth killed Hitler, but you know.
And they got David Hasselhoff to do like the theme song.
Yes, he
and
does.
It's an ununbelievable 80s tune.
You told me. I was already told, but now I'm
really. How has this never come up before?
I know.
Hasselhoff did with teeth. That's all you had to say. I've been like, we're doing it. Let's watch it.
It's the perfect like 30-minute movie.
So before we start to wrap up, does everybody else have at least one more movie adaptation that they want to talk about? Because you guys know I have mine.
I can come up with
I'll
another
come
one.
up with one.
I feel like I said most of mine, but I feel like I have something else. Oh,
Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants.
oh my God, yes, that's so good.
That came out when I worked at the movie theater.
Really, ooh, hey, really great
Hey.
casting also for that movie. Like superb casting.
Yes, America Ferrera.
Yeah,
10 out of 10. Perfect.
It was a really
everyone
warm.
was just so perfect, exactly how you would think that they would be, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, excellent books.
Very excellent books.
It was a warm movie that came out when I needed it, and I really need to revisit it. And this is also making me want to read more, which is if anybody listening to this, watching this, you come out of this wanting to read more, we did something awesome tonight. Let's hear it for books. I mean,
Yeah,
Here for books.
Let's hear it for books. We're gonna make EJ read the Hunger Games trilogy.
Klaatu, Naruto.
No, don't curse
no.
on.
So I don't have the book with me. I have the jacket. The jacket slipped off the book.
This is where we go on the job.
This is the rails, and we're off them. So that's a John Dies at the End book. John Dies at the End is, I feel spiritually connected to the author. It's about these guys who are basically wastoid hipsters who become paranormal investigators after they do an experimental hallucinogenic drug, and they're really shitty at it, even though they're in tune to the spiritual world. So they're cynics, they're assholes, and everything feels so lived in. Just John Dies at the End is the first book, and it's amazing. There's a great film adaptation done by the same guy who did Bubba Hotep, and if you like Bubba Hotep or Evil Dead, it's up your alley. But it's these just they're assholes. But there's one of the guys overdoses and he dies, and he communicates back to his friend, and he's like, "Yeah, I died sometime across space and time. I don't know when, but you're going to be getting voicemails from me for a long time." And it's pre-recorded messages, and it's wild shit. It's absolutely phenomenal. Doesn't make sense. Paul Giamatti plays a black man.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
And it's just one of Paul Giamatti's best roles. And yeah, look up Jason Pargin. Anybody doesn't know Jason Pargin, that's my equivalent right here to the Hate Spinnerbait ladies with Sarah Dessen.
I need to know if either of you have read the Twin Peaks books.
I've not read the books.
Ugh. I recommend
Good
it.
show.
I have a newfound obsession. It started in the pandemic. I watched it for the first time, like in the heat of the pandemic. So, we lost them?
Yep.
We feared this moment.
Nice.
I
am. Where did Joe go? I lost you all.
Oh no.
There we go. No, I just had a different tab up on my computer. Anyways,
Brandy.
nice. Let me see if I can
What?
You're
pull up
back.
another one.
That
There.
was
So-
a really long freeze for us. And then it just completely disappeared. So we had to reboot. We're back, baby.
So I was just about to plug the latest book in the John Dies at the End series, because you don't need to read the other two books. So if this book exists, you're in the wrong universe. Is this story about how, like, you're in the wrong universe if Jonathan Majors might be a terrible human being. And also, basically, like, there's an app that these kids are all addicted to. It's like a microtransaction app, but it starts asking them for like things like human teeth.
Cool.
It's a comedy.
I can really tell, AJ. I can really tell.
It's a funny version of Stephen King, if that excites anybody. It's Stephen King books, but hilarious.
I can.
That does excite me.
Oh yeah.
I'm into it. Should we end with since I brought it up, should we pull up the Jason Sudeikis?
Well, we're gonna do that, but first I gotta talk about the most important book. I don't know how this happens, but like somehow
Dianetics?
Well, yeah. But somehow, this movie managed to be a documentary based on a book that is 100% accurate, won 73 Academy Awards this year, and was filmed in space. And that, of course, is Moonfall.
Obviously. 73 Academy Award. I don't even think about 73 awards.
It won 73 Academy Awards this year, people. It is a documentary that is based on a book shot in space.
Juice, can you pull up the Jason
It's
Sudeikis?
also an animated short film.
Animated short film, yes.
Yeah.
Hey, that's one of the 73 it won.
It did win for animated short. I was there. I watched the Oscars live. I saw it happen.
Yeah.
Wait, is Juice frozen
Remember?
Nope, I'm just focused.
You guys remember when Harrison Ford hugged Short Round because Moonfall won?
I know.
It was so beautiful. They were just both so excited that Moonfall won.
Who wouldn't be? It was the greatest movie ever made.
Did you see? I forgot to bring this up, and I need to put this in Karate Crew because I know that Danny will really appreciate it as well. So, did you see that Kiwi Kwan was with Jeff Cohen, aka Chung from the Goonies? They were at Disneyland together, and they went on Mr. Toad, and they took a picture.
I didn't see the picture.
Together, they are on the Mr. Toad, and I was like, "This is everything."
Mr. Toad.
I was like, "America's Sweetheart" on the best ride of all time. So it really made me happy, and I felt like I needed to share it. I was like, "This is the greatest picture I've ever seen in my life."
Mr. Toad is the only ride that brings you to hell.
It's true, and we love it for it.
Screw you, Pooh.
I'm pretty sure you haven't been on Fast and the Furious.
Well, that doesn't bring you to hell. That just is hell.
It drags you to hell.
Kicking and screaming.
Vin Diesel is the size of a helicopter on that ride, and it is amazing.
We did try the other night to continue Mike's journey through the Fast and Furious franchise, but we couldn't find 7 on
However,
any
7 is
streaming
not
service.
on any streaming service.
It disappeared. So we'll continue that journey when we can find where to watch 7.
7. I actually think most people cried when watching that movie.
That is true. It was amazing.
I
What
still
did we
say
watch
2 is
the
the
other?
best.
Oh, I watched Varsity Blues for the first time the other night. Speaking of Paul Walker,
She'd never seen it.
which is very shocking that I've never seen Varsity Blues, but I hadn't seen it.
Okay, so it's based off of this book called Not Another Teen Movie.
Yes,
You just figure
yes.
out immediately.
Starring Sam Levine in a
Yes.
not at all controversial role.
And Chris Evans. Yeah, not controversial at all.
Maybe
Sam
Chris
Levine.
Evans.
He was the original weeaboo.
Juice, do you have our beautiful bean footage for us?
I'm working on it.
Okay, it's working on it.
Okay.
We'll see
If you look up Thunder Gong, I think that's what it's listed under.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and Google Thunderdong.
Thunderdong.
Whoa. Don't do that. We don't want the show.
With the same video clip we already showed him once.
Yeah, I got an entirely different video clip.
That'll be more than a copyright strike. So I don't think we should show that.
No.
Remember the time, this is a true story, one time we were doing a stream about video game movies and we got a copyright strike because we showed the Titanic alternate ending.
That's my favorite. That was our first
That was
copyright.
the first copyright strike. And I was like, of course, in the episode we were discussing video game movies, somehow Titanic alternate ending came up and we did watch it. And if you have never watched it, do yourself
Boomer,
a
have you
favor.
seen it?
I have not. I didn't even know it existed.
Oh, it's
It's
fantastic.
real good.
We would
it's
show
so
you, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google it after this.
Last time Juice visited, when I picked him up from the airport, I just handed him my phone and it was playing.
It was awesome.
Let's just say that Jason made the right choice on the ending that he picked. That's,
just real quick, William Harold, I am not a coward.
while Juice is pulling this up, why don't the two of you plug your podcast?
That's true, because we are probably going to hard close it. Hi, yes, you've heard me say it before, but I'll say it again. We're kind of a big deal, guys, since the last time we all talked on with the show. We, Sarah Desson herself, our queen, has mentioned us in a hard post this time about Sun Stories, and we've really garnered some attention, so we're very excited. We can't wait we took a little 1 week break, but we're very excited to come back. It is Hate Spinnerbait. I know that is a funny expression, but if you're a fan of Sarah Desson books, that reference will hopefully make sense to you. So it's hate, spelled exactly how you think hate should be spelt, and then Spinnerbait, SPINNERBAIT. Hate Spinnerbait Pod on Instagram, and
I
you
put
can
the
find
link in the
us.
description.
And yes, link is also in the description.
Thank you.
What a gentleman. You can also find us anywhere that you find your podcast. So Apple, you can find us on Spotify. You can find us. We also have a Patreon, and we have a fun Discord where we chat, general chit chat, exciting things like Taylor Swift concerts and going ons in our life. And we also dive deeper into the books that we are currently discussing on our podcast. We're talking about The Truth About Forever right now, which is my all-time fave. And it's a really good time. So if you want to hear some more tangents and want to hear more thoughts about our love for books, come and hang out with us, Casey.
We're fun.
We're a really good time.
Oh, I forgot one thing I was going to mention for an upcoming film adaptation. Have y'all seen the trailer for Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret?
Yes! I'm so excited. I can't believe it's taken this long to
I
adapt that. What a
I
process.
know.
But that they have Kathy Bates. I am so over the moon. I am.
No, the
it's
cast is
actually
phenomenal.
Kathy Bates is a treasure.
It
No, I'm so
might be
excited.
my most anticipated movie of the book of the year. I hadn't read any Judy Blume books, but the song "Judy Blume" by Amanda Palmer made me obsessed. I've been going through and reading all these white. Yeah.
Judy Blume raised all of us. And and bless her and thank her for that.
I'm a 32-year-old man. She's raising me now.
Did anybody ever
Damn
watch the short-lived Super Fudge TV show that was on ABC in the mid-90s?
No.
It didn't last very long, but it existed.
Interesting.
I wonder if I can find this.
Did you know Go Ask Alice is not a true story? Because I didn't know that.
Same until you're wrong.
Yeah, and then I felt really dumb because I was like, okay, obviously this is not real. But
it's not our fault because literally in school they make you think it's real. And it's not real.
Yeah, my mom made me think it was real. My mom was like, read this.
So the only one I ever read was Freckle Juice. And then I revisited it as
definitely
an
read
adult.
Tales of a Fourth Grade.
And Freckle Juice as an adult, holy shit.
I want to read them as an adult.
Brandy, you've never read any Judy Blume? You should read some Judy Blume. She's great.
Oh yeah.
10 out of 10.
And listen to the Amanda Palmer song.
And also it's the Amanda Palmer song.
It's a 7-minute song.
Juice, what is happening over there?
Struggling.
We are vamping so hard right now.
All right, whatever. All right, screw it. Hang on.
And yes, You're Wrong About is the best podcast. We're slightly obsessed. And it's the reason that basically Mikelanne came up with the idea for a book club podcast. And she put out an Instagram post and she was like, anyone want to do a Sarah Desson book club? And I was like, I was born to do a Sarah Desson book club podcast. Please me. And that's what happened. So we'd like to personally thank Sarah Marshall for making our podcast dreams a reality.
Yep. And we take
I forgot
inspo
about
from
Sarah
her.
Marshall.
I did too.
Oh, that's a good one. So I did not pull up the clip that you all wanted me to, but I did quickly throw together a little crossover event that I will share with you all
Yay!
right now.
I figured something was going on because I was like, it's not taking him this long to pull up that clip. I'm so excited.
It's only sharing part of the screen. That's okay. Okay. It's cut off, but whatever.
Hold on. If you get rid of us,
I can't hear anything. Am I supposed to be able to hear?
Juice, I'm so sorry.